And just like that, we go home.
Support for the show comes from Odoo. Running a business takes everything you've got, and a lot of the tools out there that are supposed to make your life easier just aren't great at talking to each other, and that means you end up having to toggle between a dozen different apps and services just to keep the lights on. Enough of that, now there's Odoo, the all-in-one, fully integrated platform that might help you actually get it all done. Thousands of businesses have made the switch, so why not you? Try Odoo for free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
A little bumpy here. Easy Friday right
Support
there.
for the show comes from Retool. Too many companies run critical operations on duct-taped spreadsheets, Slack workflows, and whatever else they could cobble together, not because they want to, but because building internal tools means weeks of waiting on someone else's backlog. That's where Retool comes in. Build custom internal tools just by describing what you need. Prompt something like, build me a revenue dashboard for our Salesforce data, and Retool actually builds it on your company's data in your cloud with enterprise security built in. Go to retool.com/waveform. We all need to retool how we build software. Support for the show comes from Framer. So the reason you create a website is so that your business can thrive, but some websites just don't look the part. Framer can help with that. Framer is the enterprise-grade, no-code website builder used by teams at companies like Perplexity and Miro to move faster. With real-time collaboration and robust CMS with everything you need for great SEO, not to mention advanced analytics that include integrated A/B testing, your designers and marketers are empowered to build and maximize your .com from day one. So whether you want to launch a new site or test a few landing pages or migrate your full .com, Framer has programs for startups, scale-ups, and large enterprises to make going from idea to live site as easy and fast as possible. Learn how you can get more out of your .com from a Framer specialist or get started building for free today at framer.com/wave for 30% off a Framer Pro annual plan. That's framer.com/wave for 30% off. framer.com/wave. Rules and restrictions may apply. Support for the show comes from Zapier. When it comes to bringing AI into your workflows, there's no shortage of hype, but turning that hype into something real and actionable starts with the right tools. Zapier is here to help. Zapier turns strategy into execution, so you're not just talking about AI, you're delivering on it. With its AI orchestration platform, you can bring AI into any workflow and focus more on what really matters to your company. You can even connect top AI models, including ChatGPT and Claude, to whatever tools your team already uses, so you can incorporate AI exactly where you need it. That could be workflows, an autonomous agent, a customer chatbot, or whatever else. You can orchestrate it all with Zapier, letting you do more with your time. And it's designed for everyone, not just tech experts. According to data from Zapier, teams have already automated over 300 million AI tasks using the platform. So join the millions of businesses transforming how they work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/wave. That's ZAPIER.com/wave.
Holy moly, connect. There we go.
Support for the show comes from Odoo.
The question is, where does the term Glasswing come from? And it's multiple choice. Say to transform it.
It's nested acronym.
Nested acronyms.
Wow. Okay. That is, I definitely wouldn't have gotten that without the multiple choice. I still might not get it, but we'll think about that. Answers will be at the end like usual. With its AI orchestration platform, Framer. So, and robust CMS with everything you need for great percent
Verge this week called vertical browser tabs.
Smooth caramel maybe, or white chocolate mocha.
Use them about how Chrome finally added vertical tabs to their browser, and then listed out some of the reasons why you should use them. So I know a lot of us on this podcast have
Arc is obviously the one we talk about a lot, but so many other browsers, they're just not in Safari.
Yo, I really want to talk about tabs. I don't want to.
I was just saying, do you know what feature's really stupid to lean on?
Yeah.
Vertical tabs.
Okay, let's talk about vertical tabs.
You can literally separate pages, but that's lame.
Can I pause you right there really fast?
Okay.
Because that's what I wanted to say. Everyone's talking about width of screen real estate. I put 2 windows up, so now, I don't have that much screen real estate. Now, in 2 windows, if you're not doing his go to dark setup, if you have 2 windows with vertical tabs, now you're taking up so much space.
But there's
Vertically, and you have this
they get
huge
hidden.
buffer in between.
They get
It's
hidden.
Your very specific scenario.
No,
not
come on.
in
Most
Chrome.
people hide the tabs.
In Arc, but this whole article is about Chrome.
Yeah, because Chrome sucks.
I think by default,
You don't hide your tabs, right?
no, I don't.
So if you have two browser windows, sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting a lot here, but
No,
I don't want to miss specific things we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you have two browsers open side by side,
They both
so
share
now
tabs.
it's tabs, article, tabs,
Yeah, that'd be
article,
terrible.
and
Yes.
it's all like that's
No, that'd
I
be
do
terrible.
that. I do that sometimes.
You do that?
On a widescreen monitor, it's still fine. There's enough horizontal.
On your
pixels.
32-inch monitor.
Well, it's wide. It's
Okay,
a
but
wide
what about your
screen.
14-inch Mac?
There are people who use ultra wides. Anyone who uses an ultra wide cannot possibly justify not using horizontal tabs or vertical tabs.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
got to use vertical tabs.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
But on
Using it.
my the Pro display or whatever, it's still widescreen. I've still got plenty of horizontal pixels to spare, and every website is vertical.
What about this computer? Your
What about
14-inch MacBook Pro.
Yeah, I got one window.
You have one.
Yeah,
Okay.
What about
Mac OS and not Windows, idiot?
one window. Dock's at the bottom. I could easily move the dock to the side. That's a totally valid point. But yeah, I see all my.
Can I see? Can I
what
see
about
people?
watching videos in a browser?
What about it?
It's widescreen. You're losing a bunch of real estate, especially in an MKBHD 2x1 video.
I watch videos on my phone all the time.
Wait. Sorry. I'm watching a video in my browser. It's a widescreen video, and then
You just
Vertical
maximize
tabs
it.
is making it smaller,
But you
like
can
full
maximize it.
screen.
Oh no, it's not. There's still extra horizontal. There's still white space to the left and right of every video.
Really?
Yeah.
Open up YouTube right
You
now.
don't
I have so much.
maximize?
Not. Yes. Majority of websites.
if I
I
wanna
still
see the
disagree
banner
on some of those
ads?
things. If I'm also on my
Alright, bro, I heard enough about tabs,
computer,
You can save things to your
I don't even know what it
superior
is.
bookmark aggregation service. You have a simple plugin
That is
in any platform
Multi-platform.
that syncs to all your devices.
See, but I don't know what background processes that's running. I don't know
It
what
takes 2
servers
clicks.
it's connecting to.
Wait, okay, before we move on, I have...
Reading list. I'm on my computer at work and I see an article that I'm interested in, and I'm like,
Chrome has that.
shut up. And then I'm talking here, okay, buddy? And then I'm like, damn, I want to read that, but I'm doing work right now, you know?
Yeah.
And then I get on the bus and I open my phone and I hit reading list.
You can do that with Chrome.
I get I don't care. Okay? You know what? How many hoops I have to go through? I have to put my computer on a spit over like a fire and spin it while doing some like tribal dance.
Just
Yeah.
put it in a fridge.
Look, Alice, I understand that you're traumatized from the iPhone 12 mini battery life, so now you're only focused on battery life, and I understand that.
I'm focused on RAM. I'm focused on RAM, and I'm focused on. I don't like my browser connecting to random servers. I didn't tell it to because I downloaded some random extension from somewhere in the world. Okay.
Get your viruses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I want to make my virus...
Alright, so I'm pretty sure this is an object inverter here. Tesla, are we gonna do something out of this object? Oh wow, look at that. Thank you. You almost made me grab the wheel. Thank you for avoiding that object. See guys? I'm surprised.
A virus soup. I have a quick question for you guys. What browser do you use on your phones?
That's a good question. I have several answers.
Quick question.
No, on my Android phone I use Chrome. On my iPhone I use Arc and Safari.
What?
Unfortunately.
What do you use Safari for?
I default to Arc, but I have several tabs that I leave open in Safari that I always go back to.
Why don't you just have them on Arc?
I don't know.
This conversation is gonna end, and all of our audience is gonna be like, "Why do I listen to these people talk? These are the people I take advice from."
This is just revealing that a lot of us started habits that we just didn't think about, and now
I
we're
wasn't
like,
prepared to
why are we doing this?
No, I've tried to switch. I never tried Arc because I was so annoyed. But I've tried every other browser. I even tried the Perplexity one, Comet. You know, I haven't tried Opera GX either. Ask me what I use on my phone.
What are you using?
Safari.
You must if you have the
Please
reading list.
don't use Safari.
You have the reading list on your phone, right? Safari music.
Is this Safari music?
Yeah, Safari.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
The
Safari.
Safari icon is the superior icon of everything.
Yeah.
I've tried to use a bunch
Sure.
of
It is
different browsers.
icons.
Safari's fine, but the reason why I can't go all in on it is because it's not multi-platform.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Like, at home, I use a Linux computer. I can't download Safari on
Yeah.
a Linux computer.
You
Like,
also
that's it.
can't download on your Android phone.
Yeah, and I can't download on
switch back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
I've been weaning off of Arc slowly. I should be leaving Arc.
Why?
Because the lack of updates, I just know is not going to perform well. In like a year, it's going to be a slow crawling mess.
It's been dead for a while.
I know.
I still use it.
But do you ever check on other browsers and go, oh, Arc is a slow crawling mess?
I check on other browsers, but like, what do you mean by slow crawling?
Like it takes like 30 years to open.
No,
and then,
it doesn't take 30 years to open.
Try opening another browser. See how fast it opens.
My God. I think David hit the nail on the head. It's habit, and all of us are in weird habits, and a browser is one of those habitual things you're in so much that any change feels really weird.
Does Arc still sync?
I don't
the mobile?
Yes.
It does?
Yes.
Maybe I'll switch back and hate myself a little more.
It's a good thing none of these browsers have any critical vulnerabilities.
Yeah, that's a great segue.
I think they all do.
They actually all do. They
Actually, everything does.
Actually, everything does. Okay. Very, very big story drop.
I don't love this episode. This podcast has a critical vulnerability.
Insane story dropped yesterday, Tuesday, April 7th.
ChatGPT is in your car now.
You know? It's going to happen eventually. Anthropic announced
also that.
a large project called Project Glasswing, which is a joint cybersecurity effort to patch various vulnerabilities across different OSs, across various software. The reason this is a big deal is because I think last week or possibly the week before, we talked about how Anthropic had accidentally leaked a bunch of stuff that it had been working on for a very long period of time. One of those leaks, probably the biggest of those leaks, was a new model called Mythos. The biggest model they've ever trained. It has trillions of parameters. It is this giant kind of behemoth.
Thanks for trying to kill me a little
Yes,
bit.
very good name. They trained it specifically to be good at coding. Something that they found out after they trained it was not only was it good at coding, but a side effect of being good at coding was that it was extremely good at cybersecurity and finding bugs and things like that. They, were messing around with it. They were like trying to do some cybersec stuff with it. They found thousands of high severity security vulnerabilities, including some in every major operating system and web browser. And it can chain together various different security vulnerabilities to come up with more powerful outcomes. So for an example, in Linux, they found various different vulnerabilities that allowed you to have admin access to any Linux computer by chaining together a bunch of these different bugs that is in the Linux kernel.
That's
Combo.
Combo.
Get combo.
the scary thing too is that it did it
Autonomously.
like just by itself.
Allegedly. All of this is alleged, by the way, because they're not releasing this to the public.
Dave and I were talking about how in the Mythos release paper stuff, like there were a few things.
System card,
Yeah, there were a few things they described as unprompted, which were like
basically
prompted.
Yeah.
Definitely prompted. So it's like you got to take all this with a little bit of a grain of salt. But
the system card, which is kind of like this, it's like 200 and something pages of like what happened during their testing process of this new model. There are various things that were kind of interesting that happened, but that they definitely kind of hyped up a little bit to catch more headlines. Like, for example, they put Mythos in the sandbox environment and they instructed it to break out of the sandbox environment. And it did. And, in the little, there's this little like, what's it called when you put a little ticker above it that says like 10, and then lower down it's like, this is what 10 means. What's that called?
Annotation.
Yeah, annotation. They put an annotation and they were like, it, autonomously broke out of here.
you're talking about footnotes.
A footnote. Yeah, sorry, footnote. Not an annotation.
That was the most abstract way I've ever heard.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about it in my head.
Yeah.
So in that one, they had said, like, the security researcher only realized that it had broken out of the sandbox when he received an unprompted email from the model telling it had broken out of the sandbox. And I was like, well, okay, that is kind of crazy, but at the same time, like, it said when he received an email while he was in the park eating a sandwich, which is like, why did you say that? And then the other part was like,
it was not just prompted to break out; it was prompted
to let them know. Yeah. So it's like, it's
what it's supposed to.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's able to do that. Like, it was able to run JavaScript and figure out a way to like break out of the sandbox by running specific JavaScript things, which like it's supposed to be able to do. But regardless, anyway, so because this model they found to be so powerful, they formed this alliance called Project Glasswing, which is this multi-company security effort where they're giving Mythos to a number of different companies because they have found major security vulnerabilities in every major OS and most of the platforms and apps in the world. So anyway, they're also giving access to 40 different organizations to use Mythos previews to be able to secure their environments before this kind of cybersecurity AI agent is unleashed on the world. Because I think if there's one thing we know, it's that if you make software and you say we're not going to make this available to the public, it will eventually become available to the public, either because you decide to eventually release it, or because someone else hacks you, or because your OpenAI or Google eventually develops an agent that's just as powerful and can do the same things. So what they're trying to do now is they're basically trying to secure major software before agents come out that can find vulnerabilities in this software. There was also a bug in OpenBSD that has been present for 27 years that nobody knew about, that is able to crash any machine. So pretty big vulnerabilities there.
There was also one in FFmpeg, which is the
video encoder decoder.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
every single thing uses.
Exactly. It's just it's exactly.
Sorry.
I know, you explained it so much better than I was going to be able to. But it's code that's present in most software that is able to encode and decode videos. Because why would you write it yourself when you can just pull it off the shelf? So essentially, most software, it turns out, had zero-day vulnerabilities that it took a robot to figure out.
Yeah. So I think that the kind of scary thing about stuff like this is that part of the AI race is that there are companies that will say, well, if Anthropic's not going to release this, we're going to develop a model that's just as powerful, and we're going to release it because we want to gain market share. That's what people are freaked out about. And so that's why Anthropic is trying to secure this stuff ahead of time. In my opinion, I don't think they should have even put out the blog post before they did a lot more work on this. But it's possible
That's where my alarm bells go off.
Yeah.
Why would you even tell anyone about this?
Because it got leaked.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah, I think the main reason why they ended up talking about it was because it got leaked.
Oh yeah, they leaked the whole source code. Exactly who I want in charge of cybersecurity.
Right, I know. They leaked Opus source code.
Yeah, it was.
And in Opus they found references to this thing called Mythos. So everyone was like, "What the hell is Anthropic Mythos?"
Yeah, they also had little characters that would dance around and you could have on your computer, which is arguably more important.
The disclaimer that David and I, when we were talking about this, David and I carpool to work on Wednesdays together, so we talk about all the pod stuff. But the thing that David and I really wanted to talk about is just that, it's, as much as this seems legit and seems freaky-deaky, they have a financial interest in lying. So maybe they're lying. Maybe they're not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they got 12 large corporations and 40 organizations, and they have all these quotes, and they have people in the video talking about how important it was. One of the best security researchers in the world said that while he's been using Mythos, he's found more bugs than in his entire career.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems pretty legit. I just also. I've been listening to Sam Altman saying he's 1 second away from curing cancer for the past 2.5 years, and so I'll take it all with a grain of salt.
Don't worry, he bought a podcast. We're all good.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of safety.
Speaking of safety.
That's good.
Good job.
Nice job.
I saw this article, this release today, and I just thought it was a cool little article. Skoda, the car company, is designing a bell for your bike for the sole purpose of being able to penetrate active noise cancelling. So the car company released a new bell, and they are talking in their video about the release of it. In London, a city with 1.5 million bike commuters per day, a city where 54% of all headphones sold have active noise cancelling, and has also seen a 24% rise in cyclist pedestrian collisions. They decided that they needed to work on this new bell because while there are obviously so many variables between pedestrians, cyclists, automobiles, and everything, they believe that the mix of smartphone usage and active noise canceling is being detrimental to situational awareness and recognizing alert sounds. So what they decided they had to do was find a way to make bells on your bike noticeable by somebody wearing noise canceling headphones. Which also so there's this big study, we'll link it in the show notes. Ellis could potentially help me explain this better, but they essentially tested the top 6 most popular headphones with active noise canceling to try and find a frequency that, Ellis, is this the easiest way of describing it? Active noise canceling essentially looks at the frequencies that are coming in and then plays the reverse version of it to cancel out the noise. So they found that 750 hertz was a frequency that for whatever reason ANC just wasn't really able to handle in terms of blocking out.
They found a bunch of things. They found they found a few different things. It's the first is that how cluttered the noise environment that you're in affects what frequencies the ANC is better at canceling out versus others. So when there's a lot of noise going on, certain frequencies, a lot of noise, other frequencies penetrate better. Another thing they found was that tonal frequencies, like frequencies that have a clear bass and then harmonic stack on top of them, work better than sounds that are a little bit more random and chaotic and what we would call noisy. There's a bunch of interesting things, but yeah, largely that's the big thing, is that in a lot, there are certain situations where 750 hertz works really well, and then there are certain situations where I think it was 1K or 2K or something like that works really well.
So I thought what it was is that the 750 hertz was the frequency that ANC basically was not able to counteract, and so that could pierce noise canceling headphones.
Isn't it a bass?
It is. So the reason this is called the Skoda Duo Bell is because the 750 hertz can break noise cancellation, but that is a very low noise for people who are not wearing noise canceling headphones. So that bell just by itself at 750 hertz probably won't actually alert somebody in an environment that's not wearing the headphones. So that's why the bell has 2 different frequencies on it. One is over 2000 hertz because that is still a general bike bell alert sound that people are used to. So people who aren't wearing headphones, it would be crazy to do this whole thing to help people with headphones and then make it worse for and not alerting people who aren't wearing the headphones.
I'm just trying to imagine the sound of a bike chime, but in a much lower pitch.
I don't know about it. I guess it would be interesting to hear. If I'm listening to music and it has bass in it, that's going to sound like more bass.
I would assume it's something different you're not used to. You're wondering what that sound is. Maybe. The way they tested it is through this kind of complicated way. They did virtual reality where one walking.
That's 750? That sounds higher than I thought. Okay.
But I guess it's one thing. The bell's all mechanical. It's not digital. 2000's pretty high. I was listening to these before to try and see what they sounded like. But you also have to think of it has to be in a bell that goes bring ding bring ding. The way they did it is they tested it by a person in virtual reality was wearing noise canceling headphones and was in the virtual reality supposed to be doing something on their phone to be paying attention to it. It's hard to imagine these as the bike tone that would be on, but that's much louder. And so in their testing, they found that people wearing ANC headphones heard the bell 22 meters earlier, or 5 seconds sooner than an average person. It's huge biking, which is huge. So it's something they're testing in London. They're planning on expanding it. I want it because when we are trying to do water runs in the studio and everyone's wearing headphones, I want to try and alert everybody. Yeah. So we should just put it at the front door so we can just ring, 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 and everybody can then know we're going to do a water run.
Why were they in VR when they were testing this again?
So they get spending money.
Because they weren't just
the original testing.
Yeah, so they weren't just being like, how well do you hear this? They were simulating distractions both in the foreground, background, and periphery.
Okay.
And so they were trying to figure not just how well can you hear something, but how well does the ear response actually reach your brain. Because when you're riding a bike, you're focused on stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not writing.
No,
when you're in the world.
They're saying people with headphones are generally also a lot of times looking at their phone and just
Yeah.
completely
Well,
unaware of what's going on.
Yeah.
One thing in here though is with all the testing, they did create a graph of the AirPods Max, Bose Quiet Comfort, Sony WX-1000s, AirPods Pro, JBL Live Pro, and Samsung Galaxy Buds, and they have a graph of how well the mean attenuation is, and AirPods Max just kind of blow everything out of the water.
I was a little confused by this because they don't say which generation of these they use. That sort of frustrated me. Like they don't say which Sonys, they don't say which AirPod Pros,
Which AirPods Max.
There's only there is
The new
Now
ones.
there's a new one, but I think this happened before that. That came out like last week.
Yeah, but none of them have a number.
Yeah.
True. All right.
Apple's got to be very
I
Like the
this
new
chart,
Galaxy Buds are
misinformation.
way better than the old
Right.
ones at noise
Right.
canceling specifically.
Yeah. Apple's got to be very annoyed at this chart because they said AirPod Pro and AirPod Max, and as we know, Apple's very specific.
There's a lot about the Sony WX-1000s. They just get even they were like, this name sucks. I'm not listing the whole thing in it.
Samsung Galaxy Bud.
And just JBL
Well, I
Live
feel like
Pro all lowercase.
A part of it might also be because they're trying to like not make it about the individual headphones. Like that's not the point. The point is just headphones in general. You know.
The point of our
They
tech
say the
podcast is to make
individual
it.
They do.
about-
They
go
list
to
the
the.
individual headphones.
They do break it down.
guys. What's my least favorite thing in the world?
the noise of a
Small
bee's
man.
ass.
It's frequency response charts. Because there's so much information about noise canceling that this graph does not show. So I'm also not mad that because you would not be able to look as much as I want to be like Ellis AirPods Max or the Go, but it's like for example, like the speed of the drivers, like how fast those drivers can move in and out, will affect how much of sudden sounds are able to be canceled. The excursion of the drivers, how far spatially they can move from their resting point, is going to affect like how much like really low booms are able to be canceled. You know, there's a lot of other features that you can't just be like X frequency is canceled Y amount.
Yeah.
If anyone ever sends me a frequency response chart, block my number.
Bro, what do you mean?
It's kind of like an MTF.
I said what I said.
It's kind of like an MTF chart for
It's like-
lenses.
It's like when people are like the sound stage of headphones. I'm like, miss me. Straight up miss me.
Well,
I have many thoughts, but we have to get going.
Adam, you should try.
I just want to try. I want the bell, and I want to see what it sounds like.
Let's
with
go.
those canceling
Let's go.
headphones.
I mean, Andrew, you and I, we always want the bell, baby. But you know,
yeah, boy.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Taco Bell.
Oh, got it. Yeah, same.
But no, we should. I would be interested in obtaining this.
I don't know how we will because it's only in London right now. Skoda, if you're listening.
I would fly to London.
Anyway, Adam, do you want to transition it to us into your rant?
Speaking of things that I'm angry about,
There you go.
there it is.
You're angry at bells?
No, not really. More so,
We're speaking about it.
no, I'm mad at Ellis's frequency response.
Oh, okay.
But also about Pixel 10A coming out in Japan in blue. Okay, I have a few questions here.
Okay.
So if you don't know, the Pixel 10A got a Japan exclusive variant that is like a nice blue color. It has its own cool icons and wallpapers and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's neat, fine. I'm confused because isn't this just the Pixel 10 color? Like the blue looks exactly the same.
Oh, that's where you get triggered the design people.
Okay, I know.
Such a specific blue.
It is a very specific blue, and it has a special name and everything, but I'm
Yep.
looking at it, and again, we don't have the actual device, so I'm looking at it on the screen,
Yep.
and I'm looking at the Pixel 10 that we have here in the office,
Yep.
and I'm just like, it's the same picture.
Yeah.
They're the same.
I don't know what it is about these companies that they sort of maybe they overdo like how much they think we care about the exact color. You know what Motorola does? They do they have a partnership with Pantone. And they'll do a special edition phone that is in the Pantone color of the year. As if I've ever met anyone who even knows what that is.
Okay.
Like,
I know
we
what
do
that
have
is.
designers here.
You don't remember Cosmic Latte?
No. And like we have
Color of the year from like.
I know that there are people who care about the Pantone color of the year, and those people are a very specific person who, pays attention to colors and new things like that, and that's very exciting to them. But does Motorola think that there is like a huge audience that's like, oh man, I can't wait for this Pantone color of the year to be a phone? I guess they do think that, because we get that every year. And so here comes Google, and they're like, we've got this very specific blue. And no, it's not the same as the Pixel 10 blue. It's a certain, what are they calling it? Acai blue? Am I saying that right?
Isul?
I think it's named after the designer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like this is less about the
Certain
color and more about the collaboration.
Yeah, which that's my next point.
Yep.
That's a really cool collaboration. That dude is like a great artist. Why do we get Wicked and SpongeBob themes here in the States while Japan gets this?
I think you know the answer to that question. Because people here know about this and people there know about that.
How many times do we reference this guy and how many times do we reference SpongeBob?
That's fair. That's fair. Also, a little annoyed just generally about pixel availability, just because it just came to Mexico like this past year. There's multiple countries where not all the features are available. It's like pixel stuff is just all over the place and it's very confusing. But more so, the main reason why this caught my attention was because when I saw the article and I clicked the link to watch the video popped up in 4:3, and it's from Google Japan YouTube channel with a 4:3 video.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Google Japan is so stylish.
The art.
So, yeah.
If you go to Google Japan's YouTube channel, everything they do is so awesome.
Yeah, but not every other video. The few other ones that I clicked on are just regular, like 16:9.
Yeah.
This one was 4:3. And I think it has to do with like the artsiness of it, but I just found it so interesting because Google is like the most corporate.
Yeah.
And
They're not as corporate as like Microsoft, though.
I would disagree.
Really?
I think they're very corporate in different ways.
I guess.
But I think they still have this like idea of whimsy from back in the day, but they are super corporate. And the fact that I clicked on a video and it was 4:3, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That was my brain.
I have a correction. Cosmic Latte was not a Pantone.
How dare you?
Don't worry, there's already 7 comments.
I'm
from
so
people
sorry.
who-
Cosmic Latte was, remember like 10 years ago, they were like, this is the average color of the universe.
Whoa. Cosmic Latte.
How do you guys not remember this? This is like the most marquette space and color.
If you can rail against frequency response charts, I'm railing against average color of the universe. That is the most useless thing I've ever heard. What? The average of the universe?
But that sounds like something you'd be interested in.
Yeah,
we can only see like
the average of the
How
universe
much
is
percentage
0, is black.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Black. Yeah.
Most of the
Well,
universe
is that a color or is that a
Not according to Johns Hopkins University, bro.
I mean, there's obviously the core of a neutron star, which is the brightest thing ever.
the average color of the universe is infrared.
Is it in the visible light range? Is what you're saying? Is the average of the universe?
Oh, you mean if you compressed it into the visible light?
That seems insane.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
You know, Marcus, I would read about. I don't understand this stuff.
For those wondering, the Pantone color of the year,
It's freaking
2026.
tan, bro. It sucks. It's lame.
No, it's blue.
No, it's not.
Cloud Dancer.
This year?
That's lit.
11/42/01.
What happened to
But
cream?
yeah, all of a sudden I'm a big fan of Pantone. That's all.
No.
Adam, I looked up the only other Google Japan video I could ever think of, which is their 2022 April Fool's joke, which was they just made a keyboard where all of the letters are one really long stick. And funny enough, it starts in 4:3, and then when they announce the board and start swiping down, it expands to widescreen to put more of the keyboard
Damn,
into
that's so cool.
Yeah, that was an April Fool's Day thing.
Before we move on, do you guys know about Klein Blue?
What is Klein Blue?
There's an artist named Yves Klein who made this painting with this blue paint that they mixed themselves, and then they trademarked it, and now they have their own blue. And when you say it, it's like, that's stupid. Like, you can't use this color blue unless you pay this guy Yves Klein. But then you look at the blue and you're like, damn,
Yeah, dude.
that's a good blue.
This is also a bonus episode. If you click on the Pantone color of the year, it's like, please, no more. Here's a paywall. Sign up for 15,000 colors. Like, what?
Dude, Cloud Dancer, which is the color of the year this year, it's just like, it's beige. It's literally beige. There's a really awesome
But it's
article.
a very specific.
I don't care. It's
There's
beige.
so many colors.
There's an awesome article, I think by Mia Sato on The Verge, where she went to like the Pantone color of the year party.
Wow. See, that
sounds lit.
Think of the person who would go. No.
I'd go to that.
I would normally go to that if it was anything but beige.
You would normally go to the Pantone color of the year.
Of course. Would you not?
That sounds pretty sweet.
That's
That sounds better than every
Would you
South by
not?
Southwest party I've ever
Yeah.
been
I think Pantone gets a bad rep because they're one of those companies that,
Is evil.
Well, that's the thing is like,
Paywall and colors.
I get the idea, like, yeah, they're paywall in colors, but also, like, thank God they exist, dude. Because, like, especially, like, right now, for example, right?
This should be a bonus episode.
I'm trying to, I got a suit jacket for a great price on eBay, and I'm trying to find matching pants. And and I cannot find pants that are the exact same color. Like, this color matching has just been, and the whole point of Pantone is
color matching.
standardized. So if you see something on the internet, you can just read, that's color 89627.
Yeah.
You open up your book that you paid $10 million for,
And you can't leave in the sun.
yeah, I can't leave in the sun, and then you find 89267, and then you go, okay, now I'm certain.
And it standardizes it across different materials, different finishes, and this whole thing. We accidentally know way too much about this, and maybe should actually be a bonus episode. But I am also fine with trolling Tim and people who are listening to this by saying they're paywalling colors.
This month's bonus episode is a Q&A. Link in the description to ask your questions. Please give us questions because we don't have any.
You think people are still listening?
I know. If you're still listening, then we want your questions because you are in this with us. So please.
We have a beautiful domain. You can go to waveformsurvey.com.
We're not reusing that at all. Not at all.
Never used that before.
Look, we paid for it. It's worth it.
So to be clear,
You gotta utilize it.
we are going to be doing a bonus episode soon. If you are still listening this far in the podcast, you are the type of person we want to answer the questions from.
Exactly.
Go to waveformsurvey.com, ask us questions. On an upcoming bonus episode, we will answer those questions.
But you know what else has questions and answers?
What is that, Ellis?
You already know. Oh, I left the fader down.
Trivia.
Dude. So we just spoke about Anthropic discovering all these vulnerabilities in Linux specifically. It's just one of the examples they used. But Linus Torvalds, when he initially made Linux, debated naming it something else. Was it A, freaks, a combination of free, freak, and the letter X to indicate that it was a Unix system? B, Weenix, changing the U in Unix to we. C, Tiger, which was the mascot at the University of Helsinki where he was at the time. Or D, Torvis, a combination of his last name and his first name.
Can you reread the first one?
Yo, your Weenix is showing.
Freaks, F-R-E-A-X.
No, but you said, what was the reason? It's a mix of
combination
free
of
and
free,
freaks.
freak, and the letter X to indicate that it was a Unix-like system.
I like that it's a combination of free and freak when it's just freak.
Hey, it's a
Tough one.
What is that?
Or is it F-R-E-E-K?
F-R-E-A-X.
Oh.
Free freak.
It's a nested acronym, bro. It's fine.
Wow. I like that we have multiple choice trivia.
Thank you.
It narrows my odds to
25%.
slightly above 0.
Can I say, when I was looking up Artemis stuff, the number of how the furthest distance they were away from the Earth, and I kept being like, read it 4 times because I assumed that was going to be a trivia question. I'm really upset. This is the first time I was doing research, and I was like, that's going to be a trivia question. You have
Do
to
you remember? Was it 252,000?
252, and I think it was like 750 years.
That would have been a good trivia question.
Well, this is...
At least now we know.
Now that we're mentioning multiple choice, the reason why I wanted specifically to do multiple choices this week is because YouTube has a feature where you, dear listener, on YouTube can play along and guess what the trivia answers are.
What?
If it doesn't work, then ignore all of this.
Is it new?
As of like a month ago, and I've been meaning to bring it up for me and Ellis, but Ellis today just happened to pick a multiple choice question, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick one too so we can test this out.
So they can do this, but they still can't make it actual timestamp
Yes.
UI.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reason I knew is, you remember that headache you woke up with a few days ago?
He wishes he doesn't.
No, I Neuralinked us, bro.
That's why
We broke into your house, me and Elon, we broke into your house, we Neuralinked you.
Yeah, well, Glasswing found a couple of vulnerabilities in that.
And that is fine.
I Neuralinked me too. Sorry, that's where I left that. So we're linked neurally.
Okay.
252756. I was 4 miles.
Is that the Pantone color?
Yes.
We'll be right back. We're leaving.
It's beige.
Oh, we'll be back.
Are your ad campaigns lighting up the dashboard, but not the pipeline? That's bull spend, and marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
My boss asked for results, so I opened my dashboard for the only positive sounding metric I had: impressions.
Cut the bull spend. See revenue, not just reach. LinkedIn delivers the highest return on ad spend of major ad networks. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Your favorite local grocery stores like Kroger, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and more are now delivering on Uber Eats. Get 40% off your order of fresh quality ingredients. Whether you just got home to an empty fridge or suddenly got a craving to whip up something new, you can get everything you need delivered in as little little as 25 minutes. Get 40% off your order with code Kroger2026. Plus members get $0 delivery fees. Order now on Uber Eats. Orders of $30 or more save up to $25. It's 4/30/26. See app for details.
Want to make the most of your tax refund? File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Welcome back. Whoop update from my rant last week, which, first of all, I want to say, if you enjoy Whoop and you were mad at me for saying that, I'm sorry. Enjoy your Whoop band. I'm way more mad at Whoop, the company, and their pricing and how insufferable their CEO is. But after I ranted about that, a bunch of fun stuff came out about Whoop, which really people were amped that I ranted about it. Despite I didn't know what was going on. But Whoop is in the process of suing a company called Bevel, who is very similar to an app like Athletic that you use. Essentially, an app that can take fitness and activity data from whatever activity tracker you're using and conclude it into different types of sleep data and strain data and recovery, whatever, all those different things that every single other thing uses, but Whoop just tells you that they're better at it. But some of the reasons for why they're suing them is just very funny. Do you remember the Fine Bros?
Yeah, Fine Brothers, when they tried to trademark Reacts.
Yeah.
Because they, long story, but they wanted to own the concept.
You hear that sound? I don't know what the hell that is.
They basically wanted to own the word React.
Yeah.
Just remember that in some of the what I'll say here. So Bevel released a video going over a couple of the things of when Whoop sent them a cease and desist, and now this most recent lawsuits. Total brain. We are very far into this episode, and it is showing. So in their first cease and desist, they asked Bevel to disable dark mode and change the name of strain and recovery as the names of metrics in their app, because I guess those are things that only Whoop can do. Strain and recovery. So the funny thing about this is Whoop only has one color background, which is dark, right? Bevel has light mode and dark mode, like every single other app that's ever been made. But light mode is their default. But I guess Whoop doesn't like their dark mode because it looks too similar to Whoop's. And they also don't like the names strain and recovery because I guess those are metrics that Whoop wants to own.
Those are things that they've named the compilation of those metrics might be totally different in Bevel's app, but they probably feel like they want, like, the word like everyone I know who has a Whoop is like, what's your recovery score? This is my recovery score. How's your recovery? That's all they talk about is the recovery. So I can imagine an upstart trying to steal users from Whoop also using the word recovery very intentionally.
It's one of those things that when you start focusing too much on a word that has been around forever, it's just a pretty common word that fits in there.
If you bring your computer into recovery, are they going to sue you?
Quick caveat though, and this is not me defending this, but it's a trademark and not a copyright, which means part of the nature of a trademark, if they're...
Is it this fucking drink? It could be the drink making noise. What pissed me off if it is though.
If they're attempting to trademark this, they're trademarking its use in a specific method.
Context.
For example, here's a great example. I could release... I don't know,
Body battery.
No. Well, I'm going to take it another industry. I could release a line of protein supplements that I call Ellis's 1989 Super Protein. But I cannot sing a song in which I say the line, I would like to party like it's 1989, because Taylor Swift has the number 1989 trademarked for musical purposes.
She does?
Yes.
You could do that?
Yes.
I don't like
crazy.
that.
So, me.
Yeah.
Wow. That's lame.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna hate, like, Whoop suing them because obviously punching down looks terrible, but at the same time there's gonna be a lot of companies, and I have no idea what Bevel's doing, I should probably be more informed on it, but, you know, there are gonna be companies that are gonna try to specifically steal users from Whoop, probably by mimicking a lot of their features.
Here's a couple of their claims that I'll read out loud. They claim that their home screen looks too much like theirs, that both apps use rings to represent user strain and recovery scores near the top. Those rings are colorful circular bars that increase clockwise, and there's a coaching feature in a rectangle using rounded edges and a dark gray background. So rings with colorful, I mean,
so
like every health metric ever. Fitbit uses it, Apple uses it, Garmin uses it, all rings with colors because colors and strain, green and red, are pretty common. Green, yellow, red is how most of that happens. A rectangle using rounded edges is a hilarious way of saying a button. Every button ever that's been made. They said that Bevel's app updated the home screen, and it's obviously confusing and substantially similar to the Whoop app home screen. The only problem, so the way the home screen looks, it has 3 circles, the 3 different scores on the top when you go into it. Bevel originally had it separated into 3 rings, and Whoop for a long time was actually only 1 ring, and then updated their app after Bevel already had that, and now has the 3 rings, to the point where when they updated it, there was people commenting on it saying, like, looks like you're copying Bevel.
Whoa.
But now they're suing them, saying it looks too much the same. There's a section that says both apps use a crescent moon icon to denote sleep.
Denote, you mean?
Denote, yeah, sorry. But to indicate sleep, I think a moon and sleep is pretty synonymous with each other.
Maybe some Z's.
Yeah, and I think my biggest thing here is, which is, I'm sure, in the trademark lawyer world, totally fine, but kind of stupid, I think, is saying the design's similar and could potentially confuse people into Whoop's UI. But Whoop is a thing that only exists when you are using the product. Nobody is getting confused if you don't have a Whoop band and go into the Bevel app. Like, it literally has to.
Whoop?
Yeah. No one's, like, buying a Whoop, down, like, you know, using it and doing the setup, and then accidentally in Bevel and being like, oh,
Also, is that really a problem? Like, they're not stealing users. Like, the copyright thing is usually like, are you replacing this or are you supplementing it? If you are replacing revenue that's coming to that company, then it's a problem. If you're not, and it's just supplemental, it's usually not as much.
Well, they're a competitor, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, does Bevel have like a band or anything, or does it just take your existing fitness?
As far as I know, it's only an app, and it takes existing.
Can it take the metrics from Whoop?
Probably, but I don't know that for sure. And actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Whoop doesn't let that.
I was gonna say Whoop probably has that locked down.
I don't know how Athletic and Bevel work. I just know that they can be used with different trackers.
Yeah.
Whether it's a ring, whether it's a watch, whether it's whatever.
But maybe not Whoop.
Anything, but possibly not.
Possibly not Whoop. I'm not sure.
So yeah, I don't know. This really just feels a lot like the Fine Bros trying to trademark.
Well, we know how that ended.
Yeah, didn't end great. This is great for Bevel because they were all over Twitter and probably got way. I've never heard of them before, and probably more people know about Bevel now.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't go too deep, but I think trademarking recovery and strains seems like an absolutely insane thing and a really lame thing to do, which feels pretty on point for Whoop.
Quick clarification. While Taylor Swift does have the number 1989 trademarked, the specific trademark violation is she also has the phrase "party like it's 1989."
Oh.
She does have the phrase, the number 1989 trademarked, as well as I found out in making sure I was correct on that. She has the phrase "this sick beat" trademarked.
No.
Hell yeah.
What?
That's because it's the
Is
best
it the
part
way
of the
she
song.
says it? Because she says it's
this sick beat?
I think
I don't know.
trademarks are so stupid.
Trademarks are
I
really
get
stupid,
it, but
I
it's so dumb.
I do
have to be able to
understand why
defend
they're in
something.
Well, and they're different than copyrights because it's your right to do business as a thing, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's.
I also just want to say Taylor Swift was born on December 13th, 1989, and to imply that she was partying at that age is just bull. She was, at the most, she was writhing.
You can't prove that.
That's a party to some people.
Wasn't even sentient.
She was not even sentient yet.
Also,
she was training her AI model in the early stages.
On a list of recent trademarks, she had recently gotten Female Rage, the musical, which I don't even know what that's about. But comment down below if you do know what that's about. But you know what I do know lots about?
What is that?
The answers to the trivia questions that you wrote?
With the fader up this time.
I like that.
Waveform, episode 345, trivia question number 1. That was me pretending to be Jason.
Derulo?
Sure.
That's a sick username, Jace.Jason Derulo.
I think someone already has that.
That has to be a real thing, right?
That's pretty good.
We get sued.
Guys, where does Anthropic's Project Glasswing get its name? A, an experimental F1 rear wing design from the ground effect era. B, a Central American butterfly with transparent wings. C, a type of parachute used by first responders to jump into dense forest canopies. Or D, it's an acronym. General layer analysis screening with integrated neural GPTs.
The whole time you were saying Glasswing, I just kept thinking of DuckTales for some reason. That's all I could think of. Don't know why. Is there a Darkwing? Darkwing Duck?
Yeah,
Is that
Darkwing
okay,
Duck.
that's what I was thinking.
Wow, what a reference.
Wow, we all said the same thing.
What'd you guys say?
All three of us said butterfly.
David drew a tooth for some reason.
Guys, I think that means I'm getting
Never
worse.
claimed to be an artist.
Because you're all correct.
Let's go.
On the blog post, they have a picture of a butterfly. So I didn't go to it during the podcast, but I know. When I was reading
But
it.
am I losing my sauce?
No, thank God, Alice.
Am I?
Alice.
I used to deliver 4 bangers.
Yeah, but we never get.
We're still bangers.
We never get points.
On Anthropic.
We need points.
On Anthropic. Well, all 3 of you got points, so it's as if none of you got points.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
true.
still failed.
That's true.
It's called Glasswing from the Butterfly because none of those other 3 things are real. I made them all up.
Yeah, I figured.
The metaphor this is from Anthropic's actual website in a what one up here and what does the one mean down there. A footnote. The metaphor can be applied in 2 ways. The butterfly's transparent wings let it hide in plain sight, much like the vulnerabilities discussed in this post. Semicolon. They also allow it to evade harm, like the transparency we're advocating for in our approach.
Transparency. Wow.
They background their way into that or what?
Or
They probably asked Claude.
Somebody got a raise for coming up with that line.
Claude got a raise. What should we name this, Claude?
All right.
Yeah.
Quick update on the score after that correct question.
Yeah.
Marquez with 21. Andrew with 22. David in the lead with 25.
22.
I'm not around.
Damn,
Hey,
this is the
that's
Taylor
trademark.
episode.
That's trademark. That's trademark. You're gonna get
Careful.
All right. When he initially made Linux, Linus Torvalds debated naming it something else. Was it A. Freaks, B. Weenix, C. Tiger, or D. Torvis?
You know what's crazy? There's one thing that Adam left off there, which he was also considering, which was Linus Tech Tips.
He was way early. Flip him and read. What do we got?
Oh, wow.
Wow, you guys are locked in today.
Yeah, we're locked in. We are neural linked.
Yeah. All of us said D. Torvalds.
Nope.
Was it B?
It was not B.
Oh, good.
It was also not C.
No way,
it was
Freaks.
A. Freaks.
No way.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad he didn't do that.
FREAX?
Yes.
That is simply a bad acronym.
Is that a reference to phone freaking, or is that just like you're a freak?
What's phone?
Freaking.
Really fast, 30-second definition. Phone, old analog, like landline phone dialers actually work by tones. Like you have a thing, like each button creates a tone, and then that tone, does a program on the other side of the thing. So someone realized you could hack into phones by generating tones, and that was called phone freaking.
Yeah, but phone freaking was PHREAKING. Yeah.
Okay, so this was not.
It was the cool version.
Yeah. It was Taylor's version.
No, that's also true.
Oh, no!
Careful, David, careful.
Lawsuit.
And with that, the podcast was finally over. Again, if you have questions for us, the comment section is always open. But if you made it this far, you can, of course, go to waveformsurvey.com and ask us whatever you want, because we're going to do a bonus episode where we actually answer those questions. So take your time, come up with the best questions you possibly can. Leave your whatever questions down below, but come up with the best questions for waveformsurvey.com, and they'll be answered on a bonus episode. Other than that, thanks for watching. Hopefully the astronauts touch down safely.
And now to thank a sponsor I'm personally a fan of, Factor. Since I went to grad school and now still as I'm at a startup, once I get home in the evening, I often don't have the energy to cook and still want to eat healthy, and so Factor was a real nice find for me. With Factor, it's pretty easy to hit nutrition goals without food planning, grocery runs, or cooking that would be kind of hard to manage when you don't have the energy for it. And it really makes it easy to hit specific goals with respect to nutrition, which could be weight loss, it could be overall nutrition, more protein, GLP-1 support. In the past, I've used it as both a low-carb diet and also for protein when I wanted to get in some muscle. I've eaten hundreds of these meals, and I think it's fair to say that these are crafted with good ingredients, lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole foods. There's no artificial colors, no artificial sweeteners, none of that really bad fast food stuff. And all of that while being really quite tasty and having tons of options to choose from. So I do personally recommend it. You can head to factormeals.com/LWAI50off and use code LWAI50off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until September 20th.
Hello? Doing fine, what's up?
I'm calling to check if you're available on Monday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. for an hourly job in Georgia, Vermont.
Huh. Georgia, how far is that again from Rutland?
68 miles.
Well, how many hours?
1 hour and 40 minutes.
Ooh. So it'd be an hour 40 there, so it's about at least 3 hour, 20-minute round trip. But I'd get $300. Well, 11, so I'd get $300 out of it. What am I going to be doing on site?
This is for 2 workstation reimaging.
Okay, and I'm guaranteed 11 to 5.
2 workstations. Yes.
Okay. Am I going to be working with someone, or is it just me going from 11 to 5?
No, it's only you.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'd have to do the math on it. I'm still headed back home from my last work order, but I should be able to do it. Send me an email with the work order number, and I'll call you within like 20 minutes here.
then I'll send you
So I'll call you at like 10 o'clock.
order.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
7/2026. See website for more details.
So 8 hours
May
of
I would
work.
like to thank ODSC AI for being a sponsor. ODSC is one of the longest running and largest communities focused on applied data science and AI. It started over a decade ago with a simple idea, bring practitioners together to learn from people actually building and deploying models in the real world, not just talking theory. On April 28th through the 30th, you can experience it yourself at ODSC East 2026, taking place in...
Let's ask about this. Okay, so we got chat LLM here. I'm trying to switch from ChatGPT to chat LLM to see if we can get more use out of it, but we'll see. Hey, can you hear me? No, we're connecting, so. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What,
Great.
What agent am I using right now?
Good question. Right now, you're talking to an AI assistant designed to help you with information, advice, and general support.
Well, yeah, but what
You can
AI
think of it as-
assistant? Who is this? Is this ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini?
Great question. I'm not specifically named after those, but I'm an AI assistant designed to provide helpful information and support, kind of like ChatGPT. If there's something specific you're looking for or need assistance with, just let me
Okay,
know.
so it's the internal in-house. Okay, so you're using Chat LLM's internal model. Okay, so let's do some quick math here. It's going to be a 5-hour workday with 3 hours and 20 minutes of round-trip driving. They're going to give me $300 flat. Do some math on if that's worth it or not.
Sure. Let's break it down. You're working a 5-hour day plus 3 hours and 20 minutes of driving, so that's a total of about 8 hours and 20 minutes. Now, absolutely. So if you're getting $300 for the whole 8-hour and 20-minute block, that's roughly $36 an hour, which is pretty solid depending on the type of work. If you think about the travel time, 3 hours and 20 minutes, that's included in that total. Does that help you decide if it's worth it?
What about like vehicle cost and such?
Great point. You'll definitely want to factor in things like fuel, wear and tear, insurance, and maintenance on your vehicle. We could estimate mileage, gas costs, and depreciation to get a clearer picture. Want to break down those numbers together?
Yes, please. I have a Tesla Model Y long range, so let's just calculate electricity cost and depreciation, since it's going to be less than gas.
Exactly. For a Tesla Model Y long range. Absolutely. Now let's talk depreciation. On average, a Tesla might depreciate around 10. Got it. So let's simplify it a bit. If you estimate the depreciation roughly at about 10% over the year, that could be around $3,000 to $4,000, depending. No problem. We've covered the key points. Electricity costs should be lower than gas, and depreciation can be factored in over time. If you want to break down the exact mileage or cost per mile, we can refine it further. What's your next step?
Let's say it's about 130 miles.
Great. Let's break it down. If you're covering about 130 miles round trip, and the Model Y uses roughly 30 kilowatt hours for that distance, at around 15 cents per kilowatt hour, that's about $4.50 in electricity. For depreciation, let's say about 50 cents per mile. It's around $65 spread out over time. So you'd want to compare that, $4.50 plus depreciation, to the $300 you're getting. How does that feel?
Okay, so you would say it's worth it then to do that job.
It sounds like... Absolutely. It's all about how it fits with your time and expenses. If the total earnings outweigh the costs and it's a good match for your schedule, it could be worth it. If you'd like to go deeper into any specific details, just let me know.
I'm going to be charging for free, so let's just factor in depreciation cost. So what's the depreciation cost total? Okay, fine. Let's factor in depreciation and maintenance cost. Let's factor those together. ChatGPT here for this, because I don't know what the fuck it's doing. Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. What's on your mind today?
So I got another job. They're offering me 15 hour for 6 hours, so that's going to be $300. The only issue is it's a 68-mile drive, so that's about an hour 40 there, hour 40 home. So it's going to be 8 hours and 20 minutes of work if you include the driving and the work. So it's $300 flat, no other reimbursements. Is that worth it?
When you break it down, it's about $300 for roughly 8 hours and 20 minutes of your time, including the commute. That averages out to about $36 an hour for the total commitment. If that rate feels fair for your overall effort and you don't mind the drive, it could be worth it. But if that long drive wears you out, or you'd prefer a better hourly rate overall, you might want to weigh it against other opportunities or negotiate something to offset the travel.
Okay, so then what about vehicle depreciation cost?
Factoring that in definitely changes the picture. The IRS has a mileage rate, just as a guideline, say around 65 cents the mile, covering gas, depreciation and wear. For 136 miles round trip, that's roughly $88 of vehicle cost. So if you mentally subtract that, your $300 is more like $212 for your time. That lowers your hourly rate closer to around $25. If that still feels worthwhile for you, then it might be fine, but it's good to know the true cost.
Okay, that seems worthwhile for me. But the only issue is, so electricity cost. I charge for free, but what would be the cost?
If you're charging at home and paying for it, the cost depends on your local electricity rate and your vehicle's efficiency. Let's say your electric car uses about 3 to 4 miles per kilowatt hour and your rate is around 15 cents per kilowatt hour. For that 136 mile round trip, you might use roughly 40 to 45 kilowatt hours. That could be about $6 or $7 total in electricity. So it's not huge, but still good to factor in.
Okay, so it's good that it's going to be free. So yeah, I guess I'll do it on Monday. How much battery do you think it'll use? Should I charge to 80% that day, or should I just charge to full? I'm not going to stop anywhere to charge.
If it's about 136 miles round trip, you'll want a comfortable buffer. Depending on your EV's range, 80% might be fine if that gives you ample range plus a cushion, but if your total range is under, say, 200 miles at 80%, it might be wise to charge closer to full just for peace of mind. It really depends on your car's range at those charge levels.
I can tell you right now I'm at 39% and it says I'm going to get 110 miles.
Alright, that gives us a ballpark. If you're seeing about 110 miles at 39%, you can roughly estimate your full range is around 280 miles. So at 80%, you'd have around 220-ish miles, well above your 136 mile round trip. In other words, 80% should comfortably cover it with plenty of cushion.
Okay. Thank you. I guess I'll go for it. It's on Monday. Thank you.
You've got a solid plan then. I hope it all goes smoothly on Monday. And if anything else pops up, you know where to find me. Good luck out there.
See, that ChatGPT was significantly better than the Chat LLM thing. Also, I love how it kicked me out of my data connection, but you know, that's fine. That happens. What can you do? Hey, I guess I'll have to. Yeah, I might get a burger while I'm down there too, or I can bring food with me, one or the other. Premium connectivity already. The fact that this keeps disconnecting from my hotspot sucks. I can always hook my phone up with Bluetooth. That's what I might end up doing. But I was wishing I could, you know, keep the Wi-Fi connected pretty quick without having to fuck with it, but you know. Wi-Fi. Look at all these hotspots we got. Is my hotspot on? I don't think so. Oh, it's not. Probably why. Let's hope this guy switches lanes. Yes, thank you, because I would like to scurry on through here. What standard? He might beat me though. He is in a truck. This dude might beat me. We will see though. We're gonna zip through here pretty quick. Ugh. I was expecting him to race me or something. Usually they fucking race you. Guess he didn't race me. No flagger yet. That's good. Back and I'll see if we can go over some details with it. First, open up my email.
Thank you for calling Barrister Global Services.
Hello?
Hey Larissa, it's Bryce. So, for some reason, the email didn't get through. It says, I saw that you sent me the email, I just can't open it for some reason. I think it's because I have low data. Could you tell me that work order number?
Let me check.
And I can do it for 50 an hour. I just want to confirm some details.
587
587
0233.
0233. 587 0233. Let's check here. Oops. So, whoa! You said an hour 20, Larissa. This is a 2-hour drive. Oh wait, never mind. No, you said no. It's an hour 40, but it's actually sorry. It's a 2-hour drive. And an hour 55. So that's 2 hours. Shit. Just give me one quick second here. Let me redo my math. I thought it would be like a 3-hour and a half round trip. So that's 4 hours of drive, 5 hours work, $300. on site with me for this?
Let me check. Laptop and USB stick.
Okay.
Laptop with the latest OS image, Windows 10 or 11. And permitted peripheral device access, for example, USB stick.
Okay, so USB stick, Windows 10 or 11. Okay.
Yes.
Just give me one quick second. Because I've worked that day, sorry. That's why I'm just looking at it quickly to see. Because work is paying me. $212. So alright, so Monday at what time?
11.
Monday, which is going to be the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay. Industrial Park. And it's guaranteed 5 hours?
Yes.
Okay, so 11 to 5. Cools. Yeah, I can do it for $50 an hour.
You can be there at 11, right?
Yep. I just have to skip a full day of work.
Okay. Alright, then I will assign this to you, Bryce. Thank you.
Okay. Let me also quickly confirm before, because I don't know if this is the same job as last time, but actually this looks fine. Last time you sent me to the industrial
Yeah, I
park.
think you have been on this site before.
Yeah, that's just what scares me. I think this site's fine. The last time you sent me to one of the industrial sites, it was like a very, very big complex, and nobody knew where I was supposed to go. And I spent like an hour and a half running around the entire complex trying to figure out where to go. This one should be fine based off of the image I see here. It looks like it's one building, well, one big building, and that it can't be too hard to figure out. So.
All right. So I'm gonna schedule it then.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I guess I'll do it. It's not much pay though, but whatever.